as the title of the video suggests, I bought another Civic. Let's go take a look.
This right here is a 2012 Civic Si, and it is the cheapest one I could find. Being completely transparent, I spent about $3,000 on this, which is kind of a lot, but you do get what you pay for in a sense, I guess. As you can tell, it is not in the best of shape. It's clearly been in some kind of accident, and I don't know how it's been hit on 3 different sides, but it is what it is. What I really want is inside of here. That baby right there. At this point, if you guys didn't know, the Boosted R18 has been sitting for like 3 years at least. And it's not boosted anymore. And it's barely an R18.
At a track day at Horse Thief Mile, I ended up crashing the car. After hitting my PB, I looked over at my screen, got a little too excited, spun out, went into like a rock / bush type thing, and I cracked the radiator. Now, I would have been fine there, but I didn't know I cracked the radiator, and I kept tracking the car. I did one more session after I cracked the radiator, realized the radiator was cracked. And I was still running pretty good times with a cracked radiator. Then I went ahead and I bought
this Koyo rad over here for an SI, and I put that in. I guess the damage had already been done because I took it to a couple more track days. I would get like a lap or 2 out of it, and it would start overheating, boiling the coolant. I don't think I have a clip of it, but it was running really rough towards the end of its life. So I decided to pull the motor. I was going to replace the head gasket. I realized it's a little bit more than just the head gasket, and I was over it.
If you guys didn't know, this is an automatic. And it wasn't working out too great for what I wanted to do, which is track driving. I would be banging rev limiter because it just wouldn't shift quick enough. And even when I did shift, it just wasn't good. That's where this car comes in.
This is a running K24, or it was running. I have seen it start up before I bought it, so there is that. I think they hot wired it to start though. I believe that the main relay fuse or something like that needs to be replaced. I do have a radiator. It's meant for this. So in theory I could start it. But I probably should just get started on the swap.
There is actually a guy who did do this swap. I think his name is like My Little 9th Gen Civic or something like that. And he did take a K24 motor and put it into his R18, so I kind of know what I'm getting myself into, so I'll give you guys a walkthrough. So obviously, the engine still has to come out. I got started on it, and then I got held up by not having an engine hoist, so I will be stealing my buddy Rob's and doing that shortly.
The R18 subframe will have to come out and be replaced with the SI one, as well as the axles, the wheel hub spindles, and the front brakes. I believe I can keep my coilover still.
The only iffy thing about this purchase is that I'm not 100% sure if This subframe is completely straight. It seemed to be pretty straight. There's a little ding right over there, but it does seem to bolt up fine. But this is also crushed right here, so that's kind of concerning. But we will see. In the worst case, it always throw it to this guy over here. Now also with replacing the spindle, that means I will have to get rid of my beautiful Willwood brake calipers. I will miss them. Who knows, maybe I'll get some more for the SI.
Swapping the engine and transmission into the car is actually the more easy part of this swap. The harder part will be swapping it from an automatic to a manual. So I will have to swap over the pedals from that car. Also, the wiring / ECU. I have no idea how any of that stuff works. I know I'll need the engine harness at the very least. And I kind of want to take the tack and whatnot out of there. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be my biggest holdup. Literally swapping the engine is maybe a day, maybe 2 days of work.
The reason I bought this car is that it's way easier just to pull parts from it than to try and source parts from different cars. That just sounds like a nightmare, and it's way cheaper to just buy the car, a wrecked car out front with mostly good parts. I'm even thinking of taking the interior and swapping it, well, at least the seats.
I hope you guys are excited as I am for this build. I've been dying to get this car running again. I haven't driven it in over like 3 years at this point, and I miss it. It was my first car, so it has sentimental value to me. And fortunately, I won't be starting on it right away. Kind of do a lot of research behind the scenes. And I also have
some sway bars that I need to install on this car because it came without sway bars, and I went to the junkyard and bought front lower control arms with a sway bar off of a different car, and I have a Progress rear sway bar that I'll be putting on there. So expect a video on this guy to come out shortly.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.